The greatest sin. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, and with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. Many suppose that the greatest sin is to kill someone. Murder, for certain, is a great sin, but it is not the greatest. The reason why many say that murder is the greatest sin actually derives from people's humanistic view, which is that the happiness of man is the greatest good in the world, that humanity is the greatest religion, and that man is the measure of all things, and therefore to kill a man or a woman would be to subvert this great cause, terminate this great good, and cause a man's happiness to cease by death. But the greatest sin is the sin that is committed against the greatest being. And man is not the greatest being, God is. And to love this greatest being, that is God, in a way that is less deserving of God, is to dethrone him, to debase him, and to dishonor him. That is to say, to love God with part of your heart is not to love him at all. To love him partially is to despise him. This is the greatest sin. To say that the greatest beauty and the object of the greatest affection is not to be God, but something else. This is to spit in his face. So all mankind is helplessly guilty of the greatest sin. Their heart has loved other things or people more than God. Their soul has clung to the created things rather than the Creator. Their mind has been occupied with games and toys that received more adoration from them than God did for all that He has done for them. You must remember that Jesus Christ came to fulfill the law. He came to fill to the brim, elevate to the skies, draw out the full meaning and requirements of the law. Why? So that all the world might be found guilty before God, that all men and women might have nothing to say before God the judge. But Jesus Christ also came to die for the ungodly and the guilty. He came to remove the death sentence of the law by his own death for all those who believe. Jesus died as if he was the one who did not love God with all his heart, with all his soul, and with all his mind, when that was the only thing that he did all the days of his short life. And he rose again from the dead, particularly because he was the only one that loved God with all his heart, soul, and mind and strength. He was the only one that never sinned and did everything right. The gospel is simple, dear friends. God so loved the world that he gave his only Son, Jesus Christ, that whoever puts their trust in him will not die in God's just wrath, but instead live in God's completely undeserved love, both now and forever. And so this concludes the Sin of the Week series. Thanks for listening, and may God bless you with genuine repentance and lasting faith in His Son.